Hello YouTube, this is Championdjk coming at you again with another video, and we're going to do something a little bit crazy that I'm kind of reluctant to try to do. Alright, so this is an Auto World Ultra Red. This is not only just your average Ultra Red, this is actually a very sought after and hard to find Ultra Red that I was super stoked to get at a very cheap price recently and did show in a weekly video. When I had opened it up, I had discovered that it's got the horrible base lean to the casting. So basically you can see it is leaning like that. It's a lot higher on this side, a lot lower on this side. The stance looks awful from this side and looks decent from this side. So I tried to push and push and push and tried to push this base down, tried to get this base to snap into place. And then what I discovered is there is something that's keeping this base from sitting down tight. Now, if you can see there, you see the gap there where you can see right through to the white paper behind it. So it's not sitting correctly because something is stopping it here in the front of the car. So what I did was I took off the tire. I'm going to try to do that right here. We'll take off one of these tires. You got to be kind of careful taking them off. The rims on these cars are pretty fragile. So there's just the rim. There's the Goodyear tire. We'll be setting that to the side for now. But let's see if we can kind of see in there. It's going to be difficult to see. I'm going to try to add a little bit even more light here, so you can kind of see it from the back. Let's see here. Let's try to zoom in just a little bit. And then really try to look in there. Alright, do you see what I'm seeing? There is a piece of metal flashing. I'm going to have to take the light away for just a second. Right inside of here. Right there. That's part of the base. There is a piece of metal flashing right there that is preventing the base from sitting all the way down, or from the body from sitting all the way down on the base. I'm going to try to show it to you again with the light. Do you see that piece of like slag metal right there? So in theory, from what I can tell, that is what is preventing this car from sitting down. So what are we going to do to rectify that? What we're going to try to do, because I do not want to drill this car apart at all. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to remove that rim. We're going to pull the axle out. Okay. And I've already tried to break off that little piece of flashing with a screwdriver to no avail. It is actually pretty thick. But what we're going to do, we're going to try to very carefully, we're going to go ahead and take that rim off of the car. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up one of these blades. These little small saw blades, Excel. Our edge makes the difference. Number 15 narrow saw blades. I'll try to put an Amazon link in the description of the video of these saw blades, if this works out. And then I think you can just load those in an X-Acto blade, basically. I may just try to do it by hand, and then I'm going to try to slowly saw away that piece of metal. And then hopefully, after doing such a thing, the base will sit down much nicer. So that is what we are going to attempt to do. I could get, a lot more careful. By the way, I'm also wearing these gloves so I don't put fingerprints all over the casting while I'm working. And I will also put a link to these type of gloves. These are great for handling die-cast, especially for you loose collectors that don't want to get fingerprints all over, because fingerprints are definitely a pain to clean up. Might look goofy in a video, might look goofy doing this, but they're cheap and they work really good. So they're for handling jewelry and all other sorts of stuff, coin collections, all that. All right, anyway, so we're going to try to take that wheel off. We're going to try to cut that little piece of metal off. I'm going to go ahead and probably cut it now. Well, maybe not. Maybe we can just try to go right for the rim. I'm going to try to take the rim off with a small screwdriver. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to wedge it in here, hopefully. Hold that up. It's going to be tough to do on camera, and I got to be very careful. I don't want to damage the casting. And at the same time, I do want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. So basically going to wedge it like that. I've tried pulling the tire off, to no avail. So I'm just kind of slowly twisting this screwdriver here. Slowly twisting on that side, and I'm going to try to go ahead and work it off of the post that it's on without chewing it up too bad, because we are going to want to reinstall this. In fact, I'm going to take this off camera and try to finish it. Hopefully it goes okay. We'll reconvene in a sec. Okay, so I did it. I got the rim off. I ended up actually, once I got it with that little screwdriver a little bit, I used like a big screwdriver to try to actually pry that wheel off. I did mangle it a little bit, but I did not break it. So it will be able to be put right back on the casting. Here's what it looks like. Little rim. You can see where I kind of mangled it right there. But it will be able to be put back in the tire and put back on the car when it's done, and it will stay on without adding glue or anything like that. It should. All right. So then the axle itself, there's the tire out of it. We should be able to just slip this one out the other side. And there it is. So now I have an Ultra Red here without front wheels. And not a cheap Ultra Red either. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to load up a blade, and then I'm going to try to cut away at that little area. Let's see if we can see it even better now. See, there it is. You can see it holding up the car right there. That's what we're going to try to cut off. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and load up a blade, and we'll see if I can, if I'm able to do that without any other setup here. Okay, so these blades fail miserably. I didn't realize this, but I don't think these are really for cutting metal. At least I can't put enough pressure on, and the teeth are not totally fine enough to cut metal. I don't know why I even thought that these would work. I don't even know what it says here, additional saw blades. Maybe it would work once you get the cut started, but this is definitely, with the limited space that I have, not going to happen. And the amount of pressure that I just cannot put on this to actually get this thing going, it's not going to work. So what I'm going to try instead is a jeweler saw. Just got a very fine, thin blade. This one is totally like dirty and rusty, but it's gonna have to try to work because it's all I got. And we're gonna go ahead and try it. I'm gonna have to take the blade off. We're gonna have to put it through, and I'm gonna have to very carefully cut this out. This is gonna be a super challenge. I am going to try to shield the car a little bit with some painter's tape. We'll put some of that on there so I don't ruin this beautiful Ultra Red finish. So I don't know, man. This project's getting a little hairy. We'll see if it's gonna work out. So stay tuned. All right, guys. So this is the situation that we're in. I've got the car dangling here by a saw blade, and yep, a little nervous about it. So it is resting right on that part I need to cut off. And I'm going to slowly move the car back and forth across this until hopefully it cuts through it. But this is very difficult to do, and I got to be able to see what's going on the other side so I don't cut into the car or cut into anything else or into the finish of the car. I've got it protected with the stuff here, but we're definitely going to want to go ahead and do the rest of this off camera. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. All right, guys, so what do you think? Did I do it? Was I able to pull it off? I don't think I got all of it out of there, but I think we've got a winner now. This thing, it appears to be laying much flatter. You can kind of almost rock the base back and forth because obviously it didn't rivet all the way together correctly because of that piece of flashing being there, so it's a little loose in the front. But I think we're going to get a lot better stance out of this. So let's go ahead and put the wheel back on. Let's see here. We'll just put this back in on this way. Should go through fairly easy. There it is. And then we're going to put this, I'm going to put the tire back on the rim first, which I'm doing right now. Kind of hard to work with this one glove on. Okay. And we'll go ahead and just push that back onto the axle. Try not to do it too hard because you will and can bust through and let's see how we did. So, definitely going to call it improved. I don't know if it's perfect, but it definitely sits a lot straighter than it did before. I think it looks pretty good. As I said, the base kind of rocks back and forth a little bit, and it still has just a slight lean to it, but that is much more tolerable. Got some stickiness from the double-sided tape on there, but I would call that a success. Still a little bit, just a tad bit crooked, but that was some major surgery on this die cast, and I think it looks quite a bit better than it looked before. It's still, like I said, it's got a little bit of gap there. It's definitely not perfect, but we did it. I'm a lot happier having that. Didn't have to drill it apart, and it looks quite a bit better. So awesome. Just making sure that wheel's on good. It rolls, and I think we're good to go. So thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this little fix-it video. Hopefully it might help you with some of your die cast. This leaning issue happens with Auto World. It happens with Greenlight. Happens with a lot of the major premium brands that rivet together their castings. If this was a screwed together casting, it wouldn't be a big deal because I could just unscrew it and then fix it and then put it back together, which would have been a lot easier, and I probably could have got it to look even better. But this will have to do. So, all right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.